Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year. It is January 5th, 2021. Hard to believe, but the new year has come. 2020 is all behind us, and we're ready to branch out into a new year on the Linda Jordan Show. For those who do not know me, yes, my name is Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. And today, my first Facebook Live on my show, we have the marvelous Marsha Gleit. And I forgot to make sure I pronounced her name correctly. But I'll give you a little bit about Marsha, and then I'll bring her on, and then she'll tell us all about what she does and how you get to learn about her. So Marsha is a speaker, entrepreneur, and a master of creating effective leaders. After 30 years of working in the C-suite positions, she found her passion for helping others grow in their personal and professional lives. Marsha couples her business prowess with her leadership development training skills while creating a humorous and fun environment for clients to develop, grow, and prosper. And we all need to develop, grow, and prosper in this fabulous year of 2021. So hopefully people have your goals and objectives set up. And for those that are joining us today, put in the comments where you're listening from, or if you're watching this on replay, do hashtag replay, because I'd love to know who is on the call today and where you're listening from. So with no further ado, I will bring in for our interview today, Ms. Marsha Gleit.
Well,
hi, Marsha.
Hi, how are you? And you did get it right, so awesome.
Oh, awesome.
I'm so happy to be here. Happy New Year to everybody. Can you believe it? 2020 is in our rearview mirror. Thank the Lord, right?
Yes. So I am so glad to have you with me today, Marsha. We've been going back and forth trying to get our schedules coordinated, and today just worked out perfectly. And I'm so glad that you're here with me today, celebrating my birthday. I'm 58 today, proud to say.
Happy birthday to you. You don't look a day over 29.
I'm ready for the 60. I don't know why. That's just my next milestone, to get to 60.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah. So
I didn't like going over 55, to be honest with you. So.
I didn't like going over 40.
Yeah.
But I've adapted. The gray hair has come in, so I'm ready for it.
There you go. That's right.
So Marsha, tell the audience a little bit about who you are. I've read a little bit, but tell us more about who you are, what you do, and that kind of thing, so we can get to know you better.
Awesome. Well, first, again, I'm so happy to be here. Let me tell you, I'm from California, so we had a little bit of the time change math thing going today and yesterday. So yes, we got it right. It's good morning here in cloudy, sunny California. And I like to call myself a leadership success coach. And leadership, when people think of leadership, they think about managing a team, right? We think, oh, we got to be a great leader to manage a team, run a company, right? But when you talk about leadership, we talk about everything that we do in our daily lives, right? We manage our family, we manage our environment, we manage our to-do list, we manage our business, and we do manage people, and that's where I like to sit. And after being in corporate America for 30 years, oh my God, every time I say that, I'm like, geez, that was a long time. But I did have a client this week, and we were talking about what does she want to do in her career. And we realized, I said, you have 30 years left in your career. And I thought, oh my God, I already had 30 years. What would it feel like to have 30 more years? But you know what? Whether you have one more year in your career, or you have 15 or 30, we want to make it the best. And we know now from all the tools that we have is that there is a way, right, to take care of ourselves, right, have a great career, have a great family, and just be present and be in happiness and take care of ourselves and self-care. So that's what I kind of bundle together. I believe everything you do starts with you, and every day can be your someday. So today can be your someday.
Yeah, awesome. I like that. And congratulations for, getting that 30-year milestone. My goal was to make it to 30 years, and unfortunately the man above said, "No, we're going to stop at 27 and a half." So we stopped at 27 and a half. So tell us, Marsha, a little bit about your journey, and what was your plan after you retired, and which got you, I guess, into being your own entrepreneur.
Wow, that's a great question. So I, like you said, you read in my bio that I was moving up the corporate ladder, and I then stopped I stopped working at a Fortune 500 company, and I started working at a small independent insurance brokerage. And I ended up I was the controller for their company. I was acting as that position when there's 28 employees, right? There's the owners, right? And then you have this level of managing everything, making sure the whole thing works, right? And I found that I was exuding so much energy into my employees and trying to make them happy in jobs that they weren't happy in. And I turned around and I said, you know what? I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Right? I'm walking into my desk every single day and just feeling like, how much longer can I do this? And then I turned the big 5-0. And I said, you know what? I've got 15 more years till I'm 65. I can't do this for 15 more years. And I do know that I have one career left in me, and I wanted to figure out what that would be. And it led me to diving really deep down into what is it I liked about my jobs, what did I like, and how to look at that. And I wanted to work with people. I wanted to help people. And that's how I bumped into coaching. And said, okay, I gave notice, 6 months notice. I didn't want to leave anybody hanging, right?
You were very generous to do that.
Then I stayed on for another 6 months in a consulting capacity, but it allowed me to slowly get out of that environment and slowly start my own business and understand that I could do what I want. It could be any way I want it to be. I can just, hire who I wanted to hire. And it just was that freedom, and not that freedom of my time, that freedom of my space, and that freedom of money. Yeah. And I said, okay, I'm there. I arrived. I'm happy. And a year later, I found myself in the hospital.
Oh my.
Yeah. I had an infection in my toe that ended up becoming an infection in my blood. Ended up, I had my toes amputated. I had 3 toes amputated.
Oh my goodness.
And while I'm laying in the hospital bed, I'm like, I'm happy, aren't I? And I'm like, well, if I was happy, what am I doing here? Happiness. And I'm an A-type personality, right? And I started Googling happiness. And happiness kept coming back to self-care. Okay. And the light bulb went off that all of these years, I wasn't happy in each of the jobs. And why wasn't I happy? Because I didn't take care of me. And I didn't realize I had to put me first. And then I had to invest in me before I could be anything and good to anybody around me. And when I came to that conclusion, I started to realize that great leaders are the ones that put themselves first.
That is so, so true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so great leaders really do start with them, that they have to invest that time. And people think, oh, self-care, there they go again, right? That's the buzzword of 2020, and it's going to carry over into 2021. And I say, you know what? Self-care is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And you don't have to carve out hours and hours of time to take care of you. You could do it in 10 minutes or less a day. And when you start taking care of you and you start feeling that feeling of accomplishment and love and freedom, then you could take on anything with your cup half full and it's spilling over, right? Not whatever's left.
Right. That is so true because, when you said that, it just kind of hit me because, being in leadership in corporate America for almost 30 years, I got 27 and a half. And when you said that, it hit me because I was always focused on making sure that my staff was taken care of, making sure they got the development training they needed. We would have like employee staff day, have massages come in, or maybe have ice cream. So making sure that they had what they needed. And when you said that, it just hit me. I never thought about me because I wasn't focused on myself. My thing was to focus on my staff and making sure they were performing, maximizing their skills and abilities. But that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because so many people that are listening that are leaders need to understand that we need to take care of ourselves first. It's just like when you're on the airplane. First thing they tell you is put the mask on yourself and then put it on your child. And I always thought, oh my gosh, if something were to happen, I'd be thinking of my child first. But if you do that, then you can't help anyone because you're not able.
Right. And I love that. I use that a lot. But think about that. Take it another way. You put your mask on your child first, right? And your child is 3 or 4 years old. Yeah. How are they going to help you?
Right. That is so true.
Like, how can they help you? They're 3 years old. They don't know. Yeah, you put your mask on, you put it on them, and it takes no time at all. And that's really the point. And I look at it and people go, well, how does that help you be a better leader? How does it help you be a better leader? And I say, because when you are confident in yourself, you're able to delegate. You're able to say no. You're able to say, you know what? My people may not do it like me, but they're going to do it their way, and it could be better than I would do it. And when I can let go, because I'm confident in my team, and I'm confident that I can produce for what my bosses want from me, then it frees me up to see and guide the projects. And then what happens? You now give your employees the ability to grow because you have confidence in them that they can do the job that they're asked to do. I mean, so you talk about setting boundaries and saying no and being able to let go and all of those things that are just really hard for us leaders and control freaks us nobody else to do it, and then before we know it, we're tied up in this horrible knot, and we're like, and we get home, and what happens?
Yeah.
All right, we're about to explode, right? But we're not going to explode on our children and our husbands or our significant others, so we get tied up even more.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, thank God we can go to bed. And then what happens? We don't sleep because we're tied up in this knot.
Yeah.
But if we could go through lives with our shoulders where they belong and just feeling like every day we've done our best and we've supported all of those around, we walk in the house and we're like, we're ready to give of ourselves with our children. We're teaching our children self-care by teaching them strategies that we're learning. So they're learning it at a younger age than 50.
Right. Oh yeah. And they need to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It just becomes a way of life.
It does. So Mark, what do you say to the people that are listening that, it's 2021, we're starting a fresh year, but we're still starting it with COVID. People are still having to work at home. Kids, of course, now are really at home because, there's been a surge going on. So what do you say to those leaders who are having to work from home, having to be a teacher, or you've got a mom teacher, you've got a businesswoman, or a dadpreneur? What do you say to those leaders when they're in a different environment and they are trying to manage their staff remotely?
I think COVID has given us an amazing opportunity. And I think, first of all, is we've been able to figure out how are we going to do things differently in this environment and what good has come of it, right? So how do we keep first of all, how do we keep our children out of our hair? That's first thing, right? They need to be sitting at that computer, right? So I actually interviewed on my show back in in October, my daughter. She's a high school math teacher up in Seattle, and I said, my audience doesn't really care about math. I'm sorry, although I know you love it. But what they want to understand is, as a parent, what do the teachers expect, and how, from their perspective, what can you do with your children? And she basically said to me, is stay on a routine. So create a routine for you and your children. Okay, so if that's the first thing that you do for yourself, and you teach that to your staff, is let's stay on a routine. Okay, and this is what the routine is going to look like. This is what my routine looks like, right? I get up at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7, whatever time I normally did. The kids need to be on at 9. So they're going to be on from 9. And every time the teacher takes a break, get those kids up out of their chair. Get you out of your chair. Turn on the music as loud as you can. Sing and dance and enjoy that time. Have fun with your kids, right? Because they want to have fun with you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then you go back to, okay, let's get back to class, and and I got to get back to work, and this is, you do your next hour, right? And then it's lunchtime. So let's have an amazing lunch, right? And we can go outside, or well, here you can. Some places you can't. But think about that time that is the break time, and what do you do to move around, to exercise, right? And these are the kind of things that you get them the ants out of their pants, right? And then they can get back. But here's the one thing that she said to me, and she said to our audience: we don't know what our kids are going to learn this year or last year. We can't expect perfection from them in this environment, right? Because they're interacting with their teachers, but they're not. So you know what? Give yourself a break and give them a break.
Yeah.
Right? And just really kind of same thing. This is stress-free. The teachers don't expect, the teachers are not expecting perfection right now.
Right.
They know this is not normal. They know that how they're teaching, right?
Yeah.
It's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think that's where we need to say as leaders, is to say it's all going to be okay. We don't have to have perfection. And how does that make today your Sunday? Is by we're not looking for perfection. We're just trying to start. And when we start with something small, and we accomplish it, and we do it again the next day, and we have more feeling of accomplishment, we create momentum. When we start creating momentum, we start feeling better about ourselves, and better about our job, and better about communicating and being with other people.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
And I love that. That's how leaders handle it all.
Yeah.
Give yourself a break.
Yes, that's true. We all do need to give ourselves a break. It's 2021. We're starting fresh. And so we shouldn't be too stressed out. It's just the 5th day of the month.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? There's some hope, in 2021. 2020, right? It just felt like there's going to be no end in sight, right? But 2021, we know there is. And we know, we know how to do it now. So we got to hunker down and just do it a little bit longer. And we will be allowed out. We'll be freed.
For a lot of people listening, they're probably thinking, oh gosh, it just seems like forever. But 2020 went by really quick when you think about it. As a leader, it really went by quick. And before you know it, we were celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas. Now it's a brand new year. So time goes by quick. And I think as leaders, sometimes we forget about, going back to what you said, self-care, because we're so busy doing all these other things. If we take time to do self-care, we can enjoy the moments and not just get time just passing us by so quickly.
Yeah, it is, and it's compassion for our employees because they're just trying to figure it out too. They're
Yeah.
missing that being at the water cooler and talking to, and sometimes we get our best ideas and our best inspiration by just talking to somebody. So connection is really important. And as a leader, creating that team environment where, play a game, have a happy hour, do some of these things where just people can not be work oriented and just be kind of fun, right? And there's so many online games and all these. I was shocked at I had my this is funny. My son was home. He came home for a little while during COVID. He was living in New York and he needed a little more space, so he came out home, and his girlfriend came out, and so they were both working. So we have three of us working in the house, and we're all just kind of moving into different places. And I was done working, and I saw she was still online. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, we're playing categories." And I'm like, "You're playing categories?" And she's like, "Yeah, we do a team building event, and they're all online, and they're actually playing categories." And it was just fun to watch the team connect with each other. And that's really important when you're on Zoom, is to remember to connect. And another just amazing they heard as well is there are companies now or teams that are keeping open a Zoom water cooler that you can pop into that Zoom meeting whenever you want, and there may be somebody in there that you could just chat and not have to set up a scheduled time.
Right.
Like when you get up, right, to get a glass of water, right, at
Yep.
your job, it's like hop into the Zoom and see who's in there. And these are they're just things that, right? I mean,
Yeah. That's really cool.
that's like people just being smart about, this environment. But I know I've met so many people, and just by being able to go anywhere, anytime. And so we can look at the glass half empty, or we can look at the glass half full, and do something different today. Just make today your Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. To make today your Sunday. I like that. Very good. So Marcia, so if someone wanted to work with you, what would they get? What does your program provide for individuals who want to connect with you?
So I really try to bring my clients from settling to success. And a
Hmm.
lot of us are just settling in our job, settling in our life, settling for what the world has given you. And you
Hmm.
don't have to settle, I
Right.
believe. So part of what I do is really I help with self-care and start feeling good about yourself. And then we decide what it is we want to do. And then how do we get there? So I start with my freebie, which is mymoodzone.com, and it's my mood temperature cheat sheet. And it really sets out that where are you falling in the self-care zone, right? We have our green zone, right? It's like that commercial where when the guy goes down the street and all the lights are green, and you're like, woohoo, I don't have to stop, right? And then sometimes we have this, yellow light that says, all right, let me kind of figure it out, but I got to get back to green. That's the goal, to get back to green. And then there are some of us that are in the red zone, and it's we're hitting rock bottom, and we don't need to do that. And it just reminds them that it's important sometimes to get a little extra help. So you go to
Yeah.
mymoodzone.com and go out there and pull down my new temperature sheet, and then just for your guests who are listening today or listening on the replay, I ruined my calendar for 6 people to get their 2021 vision strategy session. And if they go to speakwithmarsha.com, yeah, I know Marsha, like the Brady Bunch. Remember, they can, the first 6 people that mention this show and you will get a free 30-minute strategy session, and we will go through some of this and we will figure out. We're going to get you from settling to success.
Okay. Got you. Awesome. So for those that are listening, I'll also put it in the chat. She has 6 spots available. Speak with www.speakwithmarsha.com. When you said it, just reminded me of watching the Brady Bunch. Marsha, Marsha,
Yeah, I
Marsha.
know, right?
So, 30 minutes strategy session. I may have said that incorrectly.
That's okay. Yeah. And we'll figure out your vision for 2021 and where you want to go and what you want to do.
Yeah, and there's so many people out there that need this. This morning I was listening. I don't know who's on Clubhouse, but I joined it over the Christmas break, and I'm figuring out Clubhouse. But I was on a call, the chat, or whatever you want to call it, this morning, and I think there's like 600 people, and they were all talking about 2021 goals. And so the moderator had the first 30 minutes, whoever popped in, they got to share what their 2021 goals are. But it was just so refreshing to see so many people that are sharing their goals. So people are ready for 2021. They're ready to make a change. And so it was just very refreshing. I'm new to Clubhouse, so I'm still learning. I don't know. Have you jumped on Clubhouse yet, Marsha?
I'm on Clubhouse, and I'm like, I go in there, and I'm like, what do I do first? Am I supposed to find friends, or am I supposed to hop into and then I saw somebody in a group that we're in together that said she got her first speaking gig on Clubhouse. So I'm like, how do you even do that? Do you just do it yourself and hope people pop in? So I'm on the learning train. I'm looking for someone to teach me. So if you figure anything out, let me know. And I'll definitely look you up because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I always feel like I'm late to the party, right? Everybody's like in Clubhouse. And I'm like, and then you try to go on and you can't get on because you have to be invited. I'm like, okay, all right. Somebody out there love me and let me in.
So maybe we need to have a room or a meeting about, newbies to Clubhouse.
Yes, I'd love that. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Today's my someday. I'm going to do that. I'm going to open up a room for how do we use this thing. Somebody tell me how I meet somebody on this thing.
I know, right? So, Marsha, it's been a pleasure. What last words do you have for the audience around today is your Sunday, leadership success? What would you tell people that are listening for today?
Believe in yourself, because leadership starts from within. And when you are confident that you have a voice and that you have something to share with your staff, with the world, with your family, just do it. And that's the most important thing. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody stop you. You can do it.
Awesome. Yeah, those are that's so critical. Right now, you and I both come from corporate America. We know that leaders right now, January, 2021, they're faced with creating goals in the practice. And so, they've got to step to the plate, and that message that you said is so critical for them so that they can prepare themselves and be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. So for those who missed Marsha's speech and you want to learn more about her, go to her mymoodzone.com. Also go to marsha.com, and she has 6 spots available for a 30-minute consultation or strategy session, I should say, on being a successful leader. So thank you so much for joining me today, Marsha. It has been a pleasure to meet you, and I've learned some things myself, and also now we're going to connect on Clubhouse.
That's right. And I'll see you in the Clubhouse.
See you in the Clubhouse. So thanks for joining. And for those that are here today, again, connect with Marsha at www.speakwithmarsha.com or go to mymoodzone.com. And again, she has 6 spots available for the first 6 people that connect with her today or mention that she was on my show today. So again, if you have questions for me, go to www.talkwithcoachlinda.com for another 30-minute jumpstart call if you want to go from corporate to cash, and doing that through long-term rental properties or Airbnbs. So thanks so much for joining us today. I'm going to go now and celebrate my birthday, what's left of the day.
Hi, happy birthday. I won't sing, but you go, girl.
The 58.
That's right, 58.
Awesome. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on Wednesday for my normal Facebook Live show. Talk to you soon.